Very good afternoon to all. The candidate, Ms. R. Sumera, is going to defend her doctoral work today. Dr. S. Murugesan, Associate Professor and Deputy Head of the Department, PG and Research Department of Botany, Pachipas College, is the external examiner. And as the supervisor of the candidate, I'm very happy that Sumera is being evaluated by an experienced academician and a dedicated researcher. Being an alumni of the prestigious Madurai Kamaraj University, he has a keen interest in research, expertising in environmental biotechnology and bio-nanotechnology. I would like to share his academic achievements. As an avid researcher, he has successfully completed 3 research projects funded by the University Grants Commission and guided over 51 MPhil students and 12 PhD scholars. He has over 143 papers to his credit, both in national and international journals, and has presented 175 papers in national and international symposia. He is the reviewer of 110 international journals and has so far reviewed 246 papers. He is also the associate editor in 4 international journals. He has also been the convener, chairperson, and resource person in several national and international symposia and conferences. He has received Best Paper Awards for his papers presented at the national and international conferences. He is the recipient of the Distinguished Scientist Award for his initiatives, discoveries, and developments in the discipline of environmental biotechnology. As an academician, he has published 2 books and 5 book chapters and has participated in more than 177 seminars and workshops. He is a member of 18 professional associations and chairman board of studies in plant biology and plant biotechnology, University of Madras. He has also served as a member for various committees, including faculty improvement programs for the University Grants Commission and Department of Science and Technology projects, and the NAC Steering Committee. Thank you, sir, for your commitment for research, even at the troubling situation that we are facing today. And I have a special welcome to Dr. Mumtaz, who was the foreign examiner for Sumera, and she had evaluated her thesis. Welcome, madam.
Good morning, all. Respected Principal, Dr. Frida Janarani, Head of the Department of Botany, Dr. Darkus, Guidance Supervisor, Dr. Vijaya Ramesh, faculty members of Botany Department, professors, and the participants. I thank the university authorities for appointing me to conduct this bio examination. I now ask the candidate to defend her work briefly in about 30 minutes.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm here to present my research work, biodegradation studies of low-density polyethylene (LDPE) by halophilic bacteria from solar salters. This research work has been done under the guidance and supervision of Dr. K. Vijaya Ramesh.
Screen is shared.
Plastics, which are the Greek word means capable of being molded into varied shapes. So we have different types of plastic from polyethylene, polypropylene, polyvinyl, and other types, and LDPE. Whereas if you see around 335 million tons of this synthetic plastic which is produced in the world is being wasted. 20 to 10 million tons are being wasted in the oceans. So this plastic and polyethylene have deleterious effect on the aquatic environment, which can be seen in the reduction in the marine flora and fauna population. So coming to the microorganisms, extremophils are the organisms that survive at extreme conditions. One such extremophils are halophiles, which are salt-loving organisms which live under high salt tolerance conditions like hypersaline environments. Here you can see the effects of the plastic on the marine environment. Here you can see that uh, larger plastics from clothing, noodles, and personal hygiene products break down into smaller products, which are further degraded by the sunlight and the wave action into microplastics, which are consumed by these marine organisms and which have very harmful effects to their health. Basically, plastic biodegradation in the environment happens because of by four methods: biodegradation, biofragmentation, and assimilation, where the microorganisms break down these plastic into extracellular because of the extracellular enzymes into smaller monomers and lead to mineralization. Finally, here you can see the action of solar thermal oxidation, biofilm, both physical and biological degradation, because of which it causes yellowing, discoloration, then surface morphological changes, size reduction, then crystalline changes, and further a density change happens. As per our reviews that we have done, very less research has been done, only 20% on biodegradation of LDP, and only 10% studies have been done on halophils. So that is why the rationale for our study was to find an alternative method where harmful effects of this plastic are affecting the marine flora. So we thought we can take up this study to detect the biodegradation activity of halophilic bacteria isolated from salt pans for the biodegradation of LDPE. The aims of our study was to collect water from solar solvents, determine the physiochemical properties of water, and identify these halophilic bacteria as per standard protocol. Then further screening for halophilic bacteria for hydrophobicity using bath test and peer zone assay. Then optimization of the growth parameters with four parameters, that is temperature, pH, salt concentration, and LDPE as a sole source of carbon for their growth. Then preliminary screening of biodegradation was done by colonization study of LDPE, then estimation of bacterial biomass with protein estimation, and then determination of loss of weight of LDPE because of degradation, and finally estimation of biological oxygen demand. Further, after this, the determination of changes in the physical and mechanical properties of biodegradation was done using viscosity testing, tensile strength, and high resolution SEM. Further, the functional changes of these are evident, were detected using FTR analysis and GCMS analysis, and the amount of elemental carbon and hydrogen loss was after biodegradation was studied using elemental analysis. So the biodegraded product toxicity testing was done using both marine flora and fauna, using seaweed, sea lettuce, Ulva lactica, and fish, Asian sea bass, Latus calcaricus. Further, since the enzyme is responsible for the biodegradation, so we did enzyme enhanced biodegradation of LDPE for similar physical, mechanical, and chemical properties, doing the same test as we have done in the preliminary screening for viscosity, tensile strength, HRSM, FTER, GCMS, and elemental analysis. Further, we found the performed assay for the extracellular hydrolytic enzymes of halophilic bacteria, especially for amylase, protease, lipase, and lactase, and to optimize the growth condition for the production of these enzymes by three parameters: optimization of incubation time, temperature, and pH. Further, this enzyme was partially purified by dialysis and gel permeation chromatography, and the molecular weight and enzyme protein was done using STS page. And the enzymatic digest protein using LC-ESI-MS was done. Finally, the data was statistically analyzed using dependent state sample t-test, ANOVA, and correlation. Now coming to the methodology, 5 water samples from solar saltons from Kelambakam, Teyur, Marakkanam, Kovalam and Kadanbadi of Chennai was taken. And then physiochemical parameters of these water samples were examined, like total dissolved oxygen, fluoride and other content. And then halophilic bacteria were isolated from these water samples using seawater agar, and they were further identified using standard protocol and by 16S rRNA sequencing. So the preliminary screening for the biodegradation of LDPE was done using the preparation of LDPE powder and LDPE sample as per ASTM D 463516, American Society for Testing and Materials. So the powder was, so then the preliminary screening, because the hydrophobicity is one of the characteristic of biodegradable bacteria. So preliminary screening was done using bath test and clear zone assay. In bath test, the hydrophobicity was calculated as per the initial bacterial suspension minus the OD of the aqueous solution and the bacterial suspension. Then the clear zone assay was done using LDPE powder in the medium, and after the growth, it was flooded with Pumacid-2 and then with methanol and acetic acid. The zone of clearing was indicating the biodegrading capacity of this halophilic bacteria. Then optimization of the growth parameters of halophilic bacteria was done for 4 parameters, that is temperature at 25, 37 and 40 degrees. Then for pH 7, 8, 9 and 10. And for the salt concentration of 10, 15, 20, 25 and 30. And LDPE used as a carbon source, and since we did not give any extra supplement, this was the sole source for carbon. So this concentration was at 0.5, 1 and 2%. So for the screening for biodegradation activity, the first colonization study of LDPE was done, where 1 into 1 centimeter LDPE sheets were cut and inoculated with the halophilic bacteria, and the results were observed after 10 to 30 days. Whereas the bacterial biomass colonization, that is the total protein, was estimated, and the bacterial colonization was studied. Further, the determination of weight loss because of the colonization and utilization of the carbon from the LDPE, the weight loss test was done, and then after 30 days and 60 days, and BOD test was finally done to find out the indirect biodegradation of the LDPE. Further, the determination of physical and mechanical properties of the LDPE biodegradation was tested using 3 tests, that is viscosity testing, tensile strength, and high resolution SEM. In this, viscosity index was seen since kinetic viscosity, where as the viscosity increases, breakdown of the LDPE compounds can be seen. In tensile strength, again, the tensile strength of the sample decreases as the biodegradation of LDPE happens. This was calculated based on load of the break by the original width into original thickness. Then the cracks and other physical changes on the LDPE sheet was observed after 1, 3 and 6 months. Then detection of functional changes was seen after FTIR using FTIR, GCMS and elemental analysis. The FTIR was done to detect the formation of new functional groups or changes in the amount of existing functional groups. Then the GCMS analysis was done to again see the loss of carbon and hydrogen components. And then finally, loss of the carbon and hydrogen was detected using elemental analysis. So after the biodegradation, the byproducts produced by this biodegradation was used for acute toxicity testing on the marine flora and fauna. So this was done on seaweed, that is otherwise known as sea lettuce, Vulva lactuca. In this, 10% of the sample by broth from the biodegraded broth was added to the tanks where these seaweeds were maintained, and the total chlorophyll content was calculated after 15 days. Whereas in acute toxicity testing of fauna, where Asian sea bass Latus calcarifers was used, in this again, the fishes were maintained in the fish tank, and the percentage mortality was calculated after 15 days, and even their behavioral changes were seen. And then after that, the fish samples were given for histopathological studies. The preliminary screening of halophilic bacteria, since the maximum amount of degradation happens because of the enzymes. So the 4 enzymes were taken for screening: amylase, protease, lipase, and lactase. Since we saw that in all the previous tests, the organism that gave maximum activity was Listerobacter exalvescens, so we chose this organism for further enzyme catalyzed biodegradation, where it was inoculated into enzyme production media. And 1 month study was done where it was subjected to LDP sheet was subjected to enzyme biodegradation, and the same physical, chemical, and mechanical changes were observed using viscosity, tensile strength, HRSM, FTIR, GCMS, and elemental analysis. Further, the assay of this enzyme, hydrolytic enzymes of Nicotinobacter exalvescens, was done for lactase, lipase, protease, and amylase. And the optimization study for the enzyme, crude enzyme production for Nicotinobacter exalvescens, was done for 3 parameters, that is incubation time, temperature, and pH. Incubation time of 3, 5, and 10 days at temperature 37, 40, and 45, and a pH of 7, 8, and 9. Further, purification of this enzyme produced by this Nicotinobacter exalvescens was done using ammonia sulfate precipitation method, dialysis, GPC, then partial purification by SDS stage, and enzymatic digest protein was done for them using LC-ESI-MS, MS, and finally MALDI-TOF analysis of this purified sample were carried out in the Department of Proteomics and IISc, Bangalore. Further, the data was statistically analyzed and dependent sample t-test, ANOVA, and correlation. Coming to the results, water from the salt pans were collected from these 5 locations in Chennai: Kelambakam, Kovalam, Teyyur, Kadanbadi, and Marakkanam. These are the areas from where water samples were collected. This is the physiochemical analysis of the water. The purpose of this is it helps in understanding the aquatic habitat and the requirement of the organism that grows. So color, odor, turbidity, total hardness, total alkalinity, and salinity was determined. Now coming to the preliminary screening, like I said, hydrophobicity is one of the main characteristics for the organism to be having the ability to biodegrade. A preliminary bath test was done. So in this, the affinity of the bacterial cells for the organic hydrocarbon, namely plastic, was seen, and statistically significant decrease of the OD value was seen before and after adding hexadecane. So based on this, 16 halophilic organisms were isolated, of which 5 showed promising result. So we named them as HA1, which showed 77% hydrophobicity, HA2 71%, HA3 69%, HA4 66%, and HA5 63%. Similarly, the other test, clear zone assay, was also done, where the organism utilized this LDP powder, which was incorporated into the media, to use it as a sole source of carbon. And so as they were utilized, they formed a zone of clearance around the colonies, which can be seen in this slide. So further, as we isolated those 5 organisms, the 5 organisms were sequenced and identified by 16S rRNA sequencing, and they were all the 5 strains were deposited in the gene bank, and the organisms were identified to be Nicotinobacter exalvescens, Bacillus vietnamensis, Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum, Bacillus aquamaris, and Cyclobacter pulmonis. This is the phylogenetic tree of all the organisms: Nicotinobacter exalvesens, Bacillus vietnamensis, Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum, Bacillus aquamaris, and Cyclobacter pulmonis. So this is the plate picture showing all the 5 bacterial halophilic isolates. You can see them; they have pigmented colonies. This is the gram staining, whereas Bacillus and vietnamensis showing gram-positive bacilli, whereas the others having gram-negative bacilli. Now coming to the optimization of the growth parameters of this, feed temperature were taken, out of which at 25 degrees Celsius the organism did not grow, whereas at 37 degrees there was considerable growth, but the luxurious growth and significant growth was seen at 40 degrees Celsius, as you can see in this chart. Now the pH of 7, 8, 9, and 10 were taken, whereas at pH 8, Bacillus aquamaris showed significant growth, whereas pH 9, we had growth of Nicotinobacter, Bacillus vietnamensis, and Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum. At pH 10, Bacillus vietnamensis showed maximum activity. Based on the salt concentration, basically halophils are divided into three: slight halophils, moderate halophils, and extreme halophils. We see most of our organism, bioorganisms, grow very well till 20% NaCl, so thus making them to be moderate halophilic bacteria as per this. Now, since we did not use any alternative source for their growth, this LDP, whatever was incorporated in the media, was used as a carbon source. So, based on the different concentration, the growth also grew exponentially. So, the doubling time of Mesotobacter was 1.45 hours, Bacillus vietnamensis 1.09, Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum 1.23 hours, Bacillus aquamaris 1 hour, and Cyclobacter pulmonis 1.04 hours, respectively. So the preliminary screening for biodegradation in colonization, it was seen that because of the presence of because of the biodegradation of LDP, there was a statistically significant difference, that is increase in the colonization and weight of the LDPG, which can be seen. It was shown maximum by Discobacter exalvescens. This is the initial weight when compared to 10 days and 30 days. You can see there was 21% increase and 56% increase in the colonization, followed by Mesorhizobium 16 and 51, Cyclobacter pulmonis 11 and 43, Bacillus vietnamensis 9, 28, Bacillus aquamaris 6 and 21 respectively. The second characteristic of estimation of bacterial biomass, basically, because of this, the bacterial colonization on LDP also results in high protein content, which was measured after 30 days and 60 days. Here you can see how the protein content has increased from 0.500 to 3.15 after 30 days and to 4.25 after 60 days. Maximum activity showed by Mixtobacter, followed by Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum, Cyclobacter pulmonis, Bacillus vietnamensis, and Aquamaris. Here you can see all the LDPG colonization of the bacteria. Now the determination of weight loss. So as the enzyme activity happens on the LDP sheet, so leads to the depolymerization, that's leading to the breakdown of LDP components, which is weight reduction in the LDP sheet. So there was a statistically significant difference, that is decrease in the initial decrease in the weight after the biodegradation, which can be seen. This is the initial weight of the LDP sheet, and after weight loss after 30 days and after 60 days, which is 48% and 61%. Maximum activity again showed by Mixtobacter exalvescens, followed by Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum with 42, 58, Cyclobacter 35, 55, Bacillus vietnamensis 29, 52, and Aquamaris 23 and 48. The estimation of biological oxygen demand was done. So as the bacteria multiplies and degrade the LDP, the oxygen demand in the seawater sample increase. Thus, this high level of BOD is an indirect indication of biodegradation of LDP. So there was a statistically different, that is increase in the BOD value. So again, maximum activity showed by Mixtobacter exalvescens when compared to the initial value, 7.3 microgram per liter, followed by Mesorhizobium, Cyclobacter, Bacillus aquamaris, and Bacillus vietnamensis. So determination of changes in the physical and mechanical properties of biodegradation. For this, viscosity testing was done. So the viscosity of the LDPE sheet decreases presumably because of the depolymerization of the LDPE, making them brittle, and therefore the viscosity of the LDPE sheet decreased. As the viscosity of the LDPE increase, the flow rate increases, making them flow more. So thus statistically significant difference was seen. In this you can see when compared to the control, the Mixtobacter after 1 month showed 1.62, and then after 3 months 0.72, and after 6 months 0.65. So the percentage of decrease in viscosity was 58 and 61, and as per in the descending order, we can see the showed next by Mesorhizobium, Cyclobacter, Bacillus aquamaris, and Bacillus vietnamensis. The tensile strength was done. In this, the weakening of the intermolecular forces, thereby resulting in the lower tensile strength of the LDPE sheet. So the percentage of elongation also decreases considerably along with the tensile strength as the time of incubation period increases. So this can be seen when compared to the control 10.1 megapascals. Acinetobacter showed after 1 month 9.67, and after 3 months 8.19, and after 6 months 5.36, followed by Bacillus vietnamensis, and then Mesorhizobium, Bacillus aquamaris, and Cyclobacter pulmonis. The third parameter that we used was high resolution SEM, where you can see the colonization of the NDPE first, which indicates the first step of biodegradation and shows the ability of the bacteria to adhere to the hydrophobic surface, thus leading to pits, cracks, erosion, and cavities of the NDPE. This is mainly because of the release of the extracellular. So this can be denoted by the 3 plus because excellent surface morphological changes of LDPE that was showed by Mesorhizobium again after 3 months and 6 months, followed by Mesorhizobium again showing similar results like Mesorhizobium, with the 3 months and 6 months showing excellent surface, whereas Bacillus aquamaris and vietnamensis showed higher surface morphological changes of LDPE with 2 plus. This is the figure showing the biodegradation by Acinetobacter extravagances. Here you can see the control when compared to the 1 month. You can see the colonization of the bacteria. Then after 3 months, cracks, and then 6 months, complete polymerization and erosion of the LDPE sheet. This is with Bacillus vietnamensis. Again, after control 1, 3, and 6 months. Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum, again, one control after 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. You can see the cracks. And this is for Bacillus aquamaris, control 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. Then Cyclobacter pulmonis, again, 1, 3, and 6 months. Now coming to the determination of changes in the functional groups that was done using FTIR analysis. This is the chart of Acinetobacter extravagances, where you can see when compared to the control, which has the methyl group, there is a reduction in the carbon components, where you can see after 1, 3, and 6 months, there is a formation of hydroxyl groups and the loss of hydrogen compounds, leading to C double bond C acetylenic components, thus leading to the decrease in the carbon and hydrogen. This is with Bacillus vietnamensis, where you can see with control CH3 molecule being broken down into OH stretch, and then CH2 methylene stretch, CH stretch, and alcoholic OH components being formed, and acetylenic C double bond C components being formed. So Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum, similarly, again broken down, OH components being formed and acetylenic compounds being formed after 1, 3, and 6 months. This is for Bacillus aquamaris. Again, you can see the formation of tertiary alcohol, OH, and hydroxyl groups after 6 months. And Cyclobacter pulmonis, again reducing into C double bond C stretch acetylenic and asymmetric CO double bond C as asymmetric aromatic compounds are formed. This is the chart graph showing the FTIR analysis. You can see when compared to the control, there's less change after 1 month, but then after 3 months, you can see the formation of new compounds here, where or loss of some compounds after 3 months and 6 months. This is with Bacillus vietnamensis, again, a very less change after 1 month, where after 3 months and 6 months. Mesorhizobium 1, 3, and 6. Bacillus aquamaris 1, 3, and 6 months. Cyclobacter pulmonis, again, you can see the 3 and 6 months having maximum activity. Now, coming to the GCMS analysis of the LDPE by Acinetobacter extravagances, the retention time and the total chemical formula seen at the molecular weight, you can see after 1, 3, and 6 months, there is a reduction in carbon component, thus indicating the breakdown of the LDPE backbone, which is made up of carbon and hydrogen, where you can see the reduction in the molecular weight as the months incubation time increases after 1, 3, and 6 months in Acinetobacter. Then with Bacillus vietnamensis, again, C15 component breaking down into C9 and much further C6 components. You can see 1, 3, and 6 months. This is with Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum. again the retention time. So you can see the components getting reduced further as the molecular weight decreases because of the damage or the utilization of the carbon by these organisms to degrade LDP. This is for Bacillus aquamaris, and this is for Cyclobacter pulmonis. You can see after 1, 3, and 6 months, you can see the reduction in the carbon components. So this is the control used for the GCMS, that is salt water and salt water with halophilic bacteria for the growth. So this is the peak distribution pattern of Nicotinobacter for GCMS sample control. Seawater with halophilic bacteria, 1, 3, and 6 months. This is for Bacillus vietnamensis. This is for Mesorhizobium thiogangeticum. Bacillus aquamaris, again 1, 3, and 6 months. Cyclobacter pulmonis, 1, 3, and 6 months. So now, finally, after 1 year of biodegradation studies, the elemental analysis was done to determine the percentage loss of carbon and hydrogen. So this reduction may be due to the breakdown of the elements by these organisms. So for using this LDP for their growth and development. So it can be seen that after Nicotinobacter showed the maximum carbon loss at 30% and hydrogen at 35%, followed by Mesorhizobium 21% and 29%, Cyclobacter pulmonis 19 and 26, Bacillus aquamaris 9 and 10, followed by Bacillus vietnamensis 7 and 8. So the acute toxicity testing was done with the seaweed. So this was used, seaweed Ulva lactica was used, and the toxicity testing was done for a period of 15 days. So you can see that the byproducts of the LDPE do not have any effect on the growth of the algae used in this. That can be evident by the increase in chlorophyll content in the value after the test was done. So this indicates that the non-toxic effect of the byproducts on this seaweed. This is the Ulva lactica sea lettuce with samples of 5 different halophilic bacteria. Then further acute testing was done on Asian sea bass, Latus calcarifers. Both the seaweed and Latus calcarifers samples were obtained from SEBA, Central Institute of Brackish Water and Aquaculture. And this, again, these samples were maintained for 15 days, and the behavioral activities and mortality rates of the fish were determined, and histopathological examination was done. There was no change in the movement or the behavioral changes of the fishes, and moreover, there was zero mortality rate, and the histopathological examination of the tissue, gills, and liver of the fish showed no change in comparison to the control, indicating non-toxic nature of the biodegraded byproducts of LDP. This were the fish used for the testing. Latus calcarifer, Asian sea bass. Again, histological examination of smooth skin that intact muscle and muscle fiber. Then histopathological examination of gills was done, where primary gill lamellae, central axis, and trabecular cells were observed to have no changes after acute toxicity testing. This is for histopathological examination of liver for parenchymal cells and lattice fibers. Again, no change was observed after the testing. So in this preliminary screening of extracellular enzymes, it was seen that except for Mesorhizobium and Cyclobacter pulmonis, all the other organisms showed activity for all the enzymes. Only these two did not show activity for amylase, whereas they all others showed protease, lipase, and lactase activity for these. So this is the showing amylase activity, protease, lipase, and lactase. And the enzyme catalase, since all the Nicotinobacter hexadecins gave the maximum activity in the preliminary screening, this was taken for enzyme catalase biodegradation and was introduced into the production media. And a period of 1 month study was done, where again physical, chemical, and mechanical biodegradation studies was done, and using the four enzymes were also studied. So after 1 month study in viscosity testing, before and after enzyme study, you can see that the activity is increased with the enzyme catalyzed study with 1.58 centistrokes in viscosity testing in tensile strength, again 8.61. Then in high resolution SEM, the surface was found to have more pitting and erosion. And then in the FTR analysis, C triple bond C stretching of acetylenic compounds were seen and hydroxyl stretch was seen. And in the GCMS analysis, low molecular weight components like icosahexaene and others were found. And after elemental analysis, in this again the loss of carbon and hydrogen were loss was also determined. Again, GCMS analysis was done, the FTR analysis here, the formation of hydroxyl groups and the C triple bonds free searching. And this is the chart showing, graph showing the FTR analysis sample. And this is the peak distribution pattern of the LDP, the degradation, enzyme catalyzed degradation. And these are the molecular weight compounds that have been seen. Assay of enzyme, hydrolyzed enzyme using crude and dialyzed was done. It was seen maximum activity after dialysis with 180 total protein before and after 240. Then with amylase 76 and 83, and then with protease 30 and 56, and lipase 33 and 48, and lactase 360 and 500 after dialysis. In the optimization of the incubation time, it was found that at 5 days maximum activity was shown by Nitrobacter for amylase, lipase, and lactase, whereas protease maximum activity was shown after 3 days. Now, optimization of temperature in that at 37 degrees, amylase and lactase activity was found to be maximum, whereas at 40 degrees, protease and lipase activity was found to be maximum. In the pH, at pH 8, amylase and lactase activity was found to be maximum, whereas pH 9 lipase activity and pH 10 protease activity. Then the determination of molecular weight of this enzyme protein was done by SDS base, and 5 protein molecules were observed at 97 kilodaltons, followed by 75, 43, 24, 18 respectively. And the sequence to be the NADFT dependent dehydrogenase, hydrolyase, sugar ABC transporter ATP binding protein, outer membrane efflux protein, and corals. This is the sequence of the NADFT dependent utilizing dehydrogenase, then alpha beta hydrolyase, then ABC sugar ABC transporter ATP binding protein. This is the protein, outer membrane protein, which helps in the influx of the toxic components from the intracellular cells of the halophilic bacteria. And this is porins, which brings in the enhance following the release of the enzymes into the further biodegradation of LDP. Now, coming to the summary, LDP is one of the major sources of the environmental pollution. So this synthetic polymer can be biodegraded using alternative techniques. So for this, water samples from 5 different locations, Kelambakam, Peyur, Marakkanam, Kogulam, Karanpati, and physiochemical properties were analyzed. Then 16 halophilic bacteria were isolated and further studied screened for hydrophobicity using bath test and clear zone assay. Out of those 16 samples, 5 were found to have biodegradation activity and were further sequenced using and identified using 16S rRNA sequencing and found to be Nitrobacter, Bacillus vietnamensis, Mesorhizobium pyogangeticum, Bacillus aquamaris, Cyclobacter pulmonis. Then, based on the optimization of growth, 40 degrees was found to be the optimum temperature for the growth, and different when coming to the pH, different pH was seen for the growth of the organism, and salt concentration, all of them were found to be moderately halophilic bacteria. And with the 2% LDP source, they were grew luxuriously. Then colonization was seen, where the increase in the weight was observed, and maximum activity was shown by Nitrobacter XR vessels with the formation of the biofilm on the LDP sheets. And then increase in protein concentration was seen after a period of 1 month, where high amount of protein content was found. Again, maximum activity was shown by Nitrobacter XR vessels with 3.15 microgram per liter. And then enzyme produced by the microorganism catalyze the depolymerization of the LDPE sheet, thus showing maximum activity again by Acinetobacter exalescens. And then for the BRD, again, which is an indirect indication of biodegradation of LDPE, maximum activity was showed by Acinetobacter exalescens at 7.3 microgram per liter. And then in the viscosity testing, the depolymerization of LDPE making them brittle, therefore viscosity of the LDPE reduced with the increasing rate flow. Again, Acinetobacter gave the maximum activity, and then tensile strength was done. Greater reduction in the tensile strength of the LDPE sheet was seen. Maximum activity showed by Acinetobacter exalescens by 9.67 megapascals. And then high resolution SEM, more amount of pits, cracks, and erosion and cavities of LDPE sheets were done. This may be because of the production of extracellular enzyme that make the LDPE brittle by breaking the short branches of carbon and hydrogen. FTR analysis was done for these 5 samples where the formation and disappearance of functional groups were seen, leading to the formation of OH groups, hydroxyl groups, and CN stretching vibration and benzene ring structure formation after the period of incubation. In GCMS analysis, again, the formation of esters, ketone, and other ether components were found. Low molecular weight compounds were found. And then in the elemental analysis, there was a loss of carbon and hydrogen after 1 year study, where carbon, Acinetobacter showed the maximum with 59.82 and hydrogen 9.12. Then acute toxicity testing, where both the seaweed and Asian sea bass was collected from the central SEBA. Acute toxicity testing showed that they had no toxic effect both on the flora and fauna, thus indicated by the increasing chlorophyll content in the flora, that is the latter seaweed, and no change in the movement or the behavioral changes of the fish, and zero mortality, leading to any histopathological changes in the tissue, gills, and the liver of the fishes, thus making it non-toxic to the environment. And then extracellular enzyme, amylase, protease, lipase, and lactase was seen. And then efficient biodegrading Acinetobacter was taken for enzyme and studies. Again, we already saw that the was showed when used enzyme catalyzed studies was done for viscosity, then tensile strength, then high resolution SEM, then FTR analysis where C1C stretching was seen and hydroxyl groups, GCMS analysis, then elemental analysis. The acid for hydrolytic enzymes, again, for crude extract, when compared to the crude extract and dialyze, maximum enzyme was seen after dialysis 240 when compared to 180, which is crude. Again, for lipase, 33 in crude and 48 in the dialyzed samples. And maximum again with amylase 83 in the dialyzed samples when compared to the crude 76. And lactase 360 from in the crude sample extract compared to maximum activity at 500, and the lipase protease activity again in the crude 0.33 in crude extract compared to the dialyzed sample 0.56. Again, optimum temperature was seen. Again, after 5 days, most of them showed the maximum activity, and lactase protease after 72 hours it was seen, and in the amylase 37 and 40 degrees were found to be the optimum temperature for the growth. And for the pH, at pH 8 protease activity was found to be at pH 8 amylase activity was found to be maximum when compared to the protease. It showed maximum activity at pH 10, lipase at pH 9, and lactase at pH 8. So 5 molecular protein enzyme components were seen, out of which they were at 97 kilodaltons NAD, FAD, dehydrogen dependent dehydrogenase, porins, hydrolase, outer membrane effects, and ABC transporter binding protein. In conclusion, I would like to tell that these bacteria have evolved, the halophilic bacteria have evolved naturally and adapted themselves to utilize the harmful environment pollutants and grow as their growth provision. So this small attempt was to isolate halophilic bacteria from solar solvents and grow them under natural conditions, and to recognize the possibility of LDPE biodegradation. So the clear indication of biodegradation was confirmed by the changes in the properties of LDPE, by the use of the carbon and hydrogen, loss of the carbon and hydrogen backbone by these halophilic bacteria, and to grow naturally in the environmental condition, since we do not have any supplement to the for the organism to grow. So the clear zone assay showed the ability of the halophilic bacteria to biodegrade LDPE, so which was shown by clear zone assay, which cannot only be taken as the confirmed parameter. So, but the results depend on various other factors also. So colonization and protein biomass. Again, DOD was tested as an effective method to identify the prolific growth of the bacteria with the substrate LDPE, and the biodegradation of this halophilic bacteria was identified by disintegrative changes in physical, mechanical, and chemical changes of the film. And then enzyme-mediated degradation has been proved by analyzing the metabolic changes of the LDPE by halophilic bacteria. The sequencing of enzyme protein has given us clinching evidence in categorizing the various enzymes involved in the biodegradation of LDPE resourcefully. Thus, there is hope in the future for the use of such microorganisms in curbing the white environmental pollution. The highlights of my study were, the best of our knowledge, this will be the first study to isolate Mycetobacter and Cyclobacter pulmonis from this could be the first study to perform biodegradation of LDPE by halophilic bacteria under natural condition, where we did not use any extra supplements. And the LDPE used in this was the unblended, since blended plastics are easily degraded because of the additives. We used unblended, which was even more difficult for the biodegradation studies. So, to the best of their knowledge, this could be the first study to report the viscosity testing of the LDPE films biodegraded by halophilic bacteria from Chennai, South India. And to the best of our knowledge, this could be the first study to perform the acute toxicity testing of LDPE biodegradation by products on both marine flora and fauna. Chennai, South India, and this could be the first study to perform enzyme sequencing involved in the biodegradation of LDPE from Chennai, South India. And then this could be the first study reporting the presence of NAD FAD dependent dehydrogenase, sugar ABC transporter ATP binding protein, outer membrane efflux protein, alpha beta dehydrogenase, and protein responsible for LDPE biodegradation by Mycetobacter exalbescens from Chennai, South India. Futurology, our study has given an initial indication of enzyme-mediated enhanced biodegradation of LDPE. So, small-scale pilot study can be implemented to analyze and assess the activity of enzymes on biodegradation. Further, enzyme immobilization studies can be done to indicate the activity of culture and enzyme mixture. And then biosurfactant activity of the halophilic bacteria, which enhances biodegradation of LDPE, also can be studied. And then biodegradable plastic is an innovative means of solving the plastic disposal problem. So this halobacteria can be used to produce PHP biodegrading plastic. The industrial application can be exploited. These are some of my publications. Finally, I would like to acknowledge all people who have helped me in completing this entire research work. So first and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty in showering His blessing upon sir. To just give me 2 minutes, sir, because I want to
It's
just
not a right
mention
time. It's not a right time.
just mention few names. Sir.
Now the topic is open for discussion. I invite the participants to ask any questions regarding the presentation. Participants to ask any questions regarding the presentation. I invite the participants to ask any question regarding this presentation.
Participants, you can also type it in the chat box if you are unable to ask. I would request all the participants to discuss the doctoral work. Please.
Okay. If no questions from audience, I ask you a question. How does plastic cause environmental degradation?
Plastics basically are the most disposable components which lead to the complete damage of the environment because they cause damage to the marine organisms because most of the plastic is leaked into the sea, which is the marine environment, so which is broken down into smaller particles and utilized by these marine organisms. Basically, these marine organisms consume this plastic and they lead to the death of them, and moreover it is being leading to bioaccumulation, making us, when we eat consume these marine organisms as food, we are also being affected by this deposition of plastic in our systems also.
How do microbes degrade plastic?
Actually, microbes degrade plastic in four, actually by biodegradation or by hydrolytic enzyme production, as I have production of enzymes, and then by mineralization and assimilation and biofragmenting, where they produce the extracellular enzymes and break them into smaller components by releasing of these minerals.
What plastics are biodegradable?
There are many kinds of plastics which are biodegradable, which are bio-based plastics. Mostly LDPE and other high density plastics are difficult to biodegrade, whereas bio-based plastics that are polyhydroxybutyrate plastics, polylactic acid, and cellular-based plastics and lignin-based plastics are biodegradable.
Why are polymers dangerous?
Polymers are basically compounds of monomers, that is monomers of carbon and hydrogen. So because of these byproducts, as it is, they do not cause much harm, but when they are released as dangerous dust or vapors, they can cause damage to the heart, nervous system, and the liver, thus causing health damage to the people because of burning of these plastics.
Among the five states, which one is more effective to replace?
Out of the five, Nitrobacter exalescens was one of the organism which gave maximum activity with all the tests. Both physical, chemical, and mechanical activity showed the maximum activity.
Is polyethylene environmental friendly?
Polyethylene, yes, sir, can be environmental friendly. Depends on how it is made. It can be recycled. And if it is a plant-based polyethylene, it can be biodegraded, and it can be compared to the traditional polyethylene, which may be harmful. And this bio-based or plant-based polyethylene is catching up more, and more people are using this plastic, sir, since there is a ban on one-time plastic.
How safe is biodegradable plastic?
Biodegradable plastic is it is safe because whatever studies we have seen, most of the components that are released are carbon dioxide and other components which are environmental friendly. Thus, they do not cause much damage to the environment, so they are safe compared to the others.
Is low density polyethylene recyclable?
It can be recycled because one of the majorly used plastic is LDPE, where it is used for plastic making. So it is very easily recycled. But the only thing is it has harmful effects when it produces these polymers and other things.
What is the outcome of this work?
Basically, the outcome is the marine organisms are being affected by this plastic pollution. So the study is just a small effort to make these components which are released can be used for the biodegradation of LDPE, and which can make this as a component, major component. This marine organism can be used for the biodegradation of LDPE using them as a main source for their biodegradation.
The participant, why did you select saltwater lake? Did you maintain a control of seaweed as their growth rate may last up to 80 days?
Yes, I chose saltwater bacteria because not much studies have been done. Basically, was Archaebacteria was one of the studies that we wanted to do. So we wanted to study because not much studies have been done on these halophilic bacteria. That is the reason why we chose saltwater or halophilic bacteria from the salt lakes. And yes, we did maintain the control with the seawater, just the seawater in their natural condition when compared to the others where the broth was introduced.
There's another one is determination of dry weight of residual LTP and carbon dioxide evolution a parameter for biodegradation?
Yes, it is indeed, because as the LDPE backbone is broken down, the weight of the LDPE decreases, because that can be evident only by weight loss test, which is a clear indicator that the carbon hydrogen are being utilized by these organisms. Similar as we do the colonization test, this is also an important parameter to study this weight loss also.
And there's another question where one person has asked which of the 5 bacterial isolates are more effective?
Already I asked.
It's already repeated. Question which has been repeated.
Cetobacteria exabytes.
Yeah. Viva is still open for discussion. I would welcome any other questions, either directly or in the chat box.
Participants, the meeting questions? No questions. I conclude the report. I close.
Thank you. Thank you for unmuting. First, I'd like to congratulate the candidate for the flawless presentation and the commendable work that has happened for an environmental friendly. Also, the supervisor for such a wonderful work. See, it's just a general questions, Dr. Sumira. See, we are now going in for a plastic-free environment. We are like most of the it has already been removed from the environment. So, do you think how valuable is your study to the present scenario?
Thank you, ma'am, for those kind words. Though plastic is banned throughout the world, as we can see, it is still being used. So, though the ban is there, still we use the plastic in some way or the other. And especially in India, still we can see plastic pollution, the white pollution being there in all the rivers and others, there discharging and still causing damage. So this is not what is going to be. Already the plastic pollution that has already caused damage to the environment, that can be at least reduced by these organisms. That's what I feel. That way, I think these microorganisms can help.
Yes, and you have talked about a new study about the enzyme sequencing. Most of the studies you have included that it could probably be the new one. Are you sure that it is a new one?
Yes, ma'am, because when we submitted for the sequencing, there was, I don't know about the other things, but for the halophilic organism, halophilic bacteria and LDP biodegradation, we could not find any studies which showed about enzyme activity. That is
Very
why,
good.
at
Excellent.
least in Chennai,
Then why don't you go in for a patenting? Have you applied for
yes,
the patenting?
no, ma'am, I'm planning to do
You
that.
should do it. You should do it.
Yes,
I recommend that you would go for the patenting and get one. Okay, congratulations.
thank you,
Doing
thank you,
amazing.
sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, to present the remarks, the foreign examiner has reported that the candidate chosen for research is very timely and the existing environmental problem and seeking a prescription of microbiology viewpoint is appreciable. Indian examiner has reported the efforts taken by the candidate screening for degradation of food specific polyethylene encephalopathy by halophilic bacteria, which I consider as very important in the light of different problems. The supervisor and the convener has anticipated the quality of the research work which he has brought valuable information to the light. I appreciate the candidate presenter has providing through PowerPoint suitable tables, figures, relevant and relevant information. The candidate defended the thesis and answered all the questions and they clarified all the doubts by the raised with excellent examiners as well as audience to the entire study. Based on the evaluation made by foreign examiners, Indian examiner, guidance supervisor, tests are the manner in which the candidate depended the question raised by all. We recommend Navana PhD degree in applied microbiology, plant biology and plant biotechnology of the US Madras, Ms. Sumeira. I congratulate both the doctoral scholar and the guidance supervisor for the novel contribution in the field of science. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Participants, kindly fill the attendance sheet before you log out.
With your permission, can I read the acknowledgement now? Thank you. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Almighty for showering His blessing upon me to complete this project and thesis successfully. This research work appears in its current form due to the assistance and guidance of many individuals. Therefore, I'd like to express my sincere and deepest gratitude to all of them for their support. First and foremost, my deepest, sincere and profound gratitude to my supervisor and guide, Dr. K. Vijaya Ramesh, for her continuous support and meticulous guidance. She has also been an inspiration to me throughout my research, and her flexibility in scheduling and gentle encouragement and relaxed demeanor has helped me in the time of research and writing of this thesis. Dr. Darkus, head of the Department of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology, Khyber Millat Government College, Women, for providing the institutional facilities for my research. I would like to place on record the valuable suggestions and the comments given by my doctoral committee members, Dr. C.M. Noor Jahan Ma'am, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Zoology, Justice Bashir Ahmad Saeed, College, Women, and Dr. Subhashini, Assistant Professor, Department of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology, Khyber Millat Government College, Women, for their scientific journey. I would express my sincere thanks to Dr. D. Frida Gnanarani, Principal, Khyber Millat College for Women, for providing the institutional facilities for my research. I would also like to thank Dr. Geeta Rajan, Principal in charge, and the members of the research committee members of the Khyber Millat Government College for Women for their support. I would like to express my heartfelt thanks to the management, SI Trust, respected Secretary and Correspondent Mr. Faizur Rahman Saeed, and our beloved Principal Dr. Shahnaz Ahmad for providing an active opportunity to pursue my higher education, Dr. Firdaus Jahan, Vice Principal Afternoon Session, and former Vice Principal Dr. Jabi for their constant support throughout my research, and Mrs. Masina Fasievo for all the administrative help. I express my heartfelt thanks to late Dr. Nausheen Dawood, former Principal Justice Bashir Ahmad Syed College Foreman, and Dr. Kandi Mati, former Principal Khadim Millet College Foreman, for providing me the necessary permission at the initial stages of my research work. I would like to place on record my thanks to Dr. S.K. Jasmine Shahina, Assistant Head of the Department of Microbiology, for her unstinting and unfailing support throughout my research, with helping me in everyday activity of the research and even in making this PowerPoint possible for presentation today. I wish to thank Mr. Dr. Mohan Kumar, Scientific Technical Officer, CPET, for helping us in our scientific endeavor. And my thanks are due to Dr. Jagan Mohan Raj, Technical Officer, Fish and Fisheries Science Department, ICR, SIBA, for his technical support in my research. I am grateful to Dr. Manoj, Hebrew University, Israel, Mrs. Sarita, Royal Bio Research Center, Dr. Shakti, IIT Madras, Mrs. Khalid Selvi, Bioinstrumentation Lab, Ethraj College, Mrs. Janaki, CVR Labs, Dr. Dinesh, and Dr. Sarita Prakash of IISc Bangalore, Mr. Sham Sundar, Mr. Zafrullah for giving us the water sample, and Mr. Daniel Anbu for helping me in successful completion of this. I wish to extend my gratitude to my co-research scholar and my dear friend Priyadashni for her constant support in all the endeavors throughout the period of my study. I convey my thanks to my colleagues and dear friends Dr. Lakshmi, Anjum, Aruna, and Kamal Punita for their encouragement and support, especially in the difficult times of my research. I also wish to thank all the faculty members of the Department of Microbiology, Justice Bashir Ahmad Syed College Foreman, and Department of Plant Biology and Plant Biotechnology, Khadim Millet Government College Foreman, for their academic support. I wish to place on record my sincere thanks to Dr. Usha Anand Rao, Dr. Fauzia Banu, Dr. Sujata, Dr. Barkat, Dr. Gayatri, Dr. Bhuma for their wishes. I also wish to thank my co-researchers, Dr. Pramila, Vaishwarya, Gayatri, Puvaraki, for their kind help and support rendered during the course of my research. I also thank Nagapriya, Tiruselum, and Daulativa from the Department of Microbiology, Justice Bashir Ahmad Syed College Women, for their timely help during the period of my research. My thanks are due to my students Famida Fatima, Ishrat Razia, Shiba Ali Siddiqui, Zakia Fatima, Jayashri, Kirtana, Shruti, Sandhya, Kirtika, Rajashri for their effort in helping me during my research. I owe my thanks to my parents, late Dr. M. Muhammad Rafi and Mrs. Shireen, and my grandmother, late Mrs. Batul, for their encouragement, unconditional love, and support throughout my life. I am indebted to the pillars of support, my godfathers, Professor Ataullah Khan and Dr. Zafrullah, and my godmothers, Dr. Naseem and Mrs. Nilofar, Dr. Nilofar, for giving me support in every day of my life. Dr. Anjum, Mr. Shahid Mustafa Mastan, again Dr. Jasmine Shahina, Mr. Sajid, Mrs. Farah Khan, Atikha Fasi, Muhammad Amar, and Master Ahil for their endless support throughout my life. I'm also grateful and thankful to my other family members, Mr. Muhammad Nazir, Mrs. Nasima, Mr. Muhammad Hanif, Mrs. Reenu, Dr. S.G. Piran, Mrs. Shahnaz Begum, Mr. Sheikh Javed Parvez, Mrs. Sheikh Jasreen Parvez, and Mrs. Sana Farah for their constant encouragement and support. Finally, I am deeply grateful to Almighty for helping us in many mysterious ways and providing us help from the unknown sources throughout this work and always. Finally, I would like to dedicate this research work to my mother, Shireen, and my late father, Dr. Muhammad Rafi. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Successful completion of Sumera's Bible examination. First and foremost, I am grateful to the Almighty for the successful completion of Sumera's Bible examination. I am thankful to my principal, Dr. Frida Yanarani, for extending all her help in the completion of Sumera's Bible amidst the present situation. I am also grateful to my head of the department, Dr. Dorcas, for all her support. I'm very grateful to Dr. S. Murugesan for his impeccable observations made during the evaluation process. His unassuming academic richness and approachable nature has helped the candidate to defend her research work in a composed manner. Thank you, sir. I extend my thanks to all the participants who have extended their encouragement to the candidate by attending the Zoom meeting. A special thanks go to Professor Tabassum Mumtaz and Professor Kamble, who were the foreign and the Indian examiner of Sumera's thesis. Thank you, sir, and Ma'am, I'm thankful to the administrative staff of my college for the completion of all the necessary formalities. Finally, I thank all those who prayed for the successful conduct of today's Viva Voce examination. Thank you all. Kindly, the participants fill in the attendance sheet. This is a request. Before you log out, please kindly fill in the attendance sheet.